happens day to day now is that Harley Yee comes in, who's one of the biggest dealer that sells for us. He sells all over the country, and he does a pre-screen, and he identifies what books, and I pay him a consulting fee to do this because he's the expert. You can't replace 45 years of experience that this guy has. And he comes in and does a pre-screen and says, okay, if this book's worth a 9, if this book's a 9.4, grade it. This book's a 9.6, grade it. This book's a 9.8, grade it. So CGC offers something called pre-screening. And so you can send a book down to them and say, all right, if it at least is a 9.6, grade it. If it's not, reject it and send it back to me. And there's a very minimal fee for that. So we do that in massive volume. We will send down 150 to 200 books at a time. Usually I would say every other week around that, down to them in that fashion. This entire box might be, all right, if this is a 9.4 or not, grade it. If it's not, send it back to me. So we'll get the returns and we'll see which books made the cut and which ones didn't. The ones that didn't, they go on the shelf and they go back into our raw pile to be purchased at a Comic-Con or something like that. If they make the cut and they're graded, they get thrown on our website. Our website has an interface that automatically pushes to eBay. It marks it up a little bit because there's eBay fees, but anything available on our website is also on eBay. And that's how our international customers can buy from us, because we do not ship internationally from our website. It's just too complex with, the shipping and the calculations and everything like that. So it's just easier through eBay. So once a book returns, then I scan it on one machine, front and back. Simple, with a graded book. Come over to another machine and I look up the fair market value. There's a couple websites that everyone uses and it's agreed upon, and you get an approximate value. Sometimes it's very hard to assess the value because of how scarce that book is. You might not have a book that has sold in 10 years. Well, how do you value that? I don't know. You do your best. So I do my best in valuing it, try to be fair with the prices, and put it on our website. Once I put it on the website, it automatically pushes to eBay, like I said, and it's up there for sale. Our main marketing source is Instagram. We don't do a tremendous amount of outreach, but people do follow us. We have a lot of followers on eBay. We have 100% feedback, and we get sales every day. And as it's been said, we give those profits to charities from the website. We also sell through Heritage. So the bigger books, things that are over several $1,000s, we'll sell them to Heritage auctions. They've been incredible to us. They've made me a fantastic arrangement. And so when it's time to sell some of those bigger books, when I decide, they go to Heritage auctions or privately sold. Part of the thing is that I didn't get to see this stuff. So this is my opportunity to see this stuff. And boy, there's a bunch of times that I'll put a book, I'm like, oh, I'm keeping that one. That's cool. So I get that. And that's my way of interfacing with the collection.
We really needed a way to get these books in people's hands, and the best way to do that is to have your own storefront. So we went with the Shopify platform and just trying to assemble something that's very user-friendly, so it's easy to come in and see. There's whatever the newest books that come in that get scanned in and put into the system. Those go in a little stripe right underneath the header. Those are the latest arrivals. So immediately when a customer comes in, they'll see some of the newest stuff possible. There's actually some sketch covers that I've done that are on the site as well. That's where you get a blank comic book. And because I worked with CGC in developing the label, I'm now a CGC Signature Series artist. So I'll take these blank comic books and artists will draw whatever cover you want. It's a custom one-of-one piece of art. And so I got my first batch back from CGC a few months ago, and those are on the site as well.
We'll get an email. It'll tell me what orders are unfulfilled. So I can click on that, and then I can click on the comic and find out where it is. I look at the CGC label number, because that's what we have as the SKU in the system. Pull it out, and then I have to, I go in the system, make sure it's right, print the label, and then I box it. I wrap it with, plaster wrap, and I have like a count and keep track of how many times I wrap it. And then we send it all priority and then get it in there. And then I have an amazing relationship with our postman. So he comes to the office for me and picks them all up every day for me instead of having to go to the post office.
Our name is we want it to mean an elite brand, like something you can only get from us, and a lot of the stuff really is that. When we found his father's closet, we saw books that had been untouched for 25, maybe 30 years. Like books that people would give their whole collection to own. Like very, very hard to find, very high grade books that weren't even bagged or boarded. They were just stacked on top of each other, 50 tall. And when we saw that, like when Darren saw that, like I don't know how to explain what he felt, but he's trying to share that feeling with the rest of the world. Like I would imagine it would be similar to the end of the Goonies when they found Willy Wonka's boat. Like,
And you know what? I got transportation.
and I don't know.
Willie's boat.
Yeah, is that, what did I say? Willy Wonka. Oh my God, I meant One-Eyed Willie. Yeah, sorry. Oh God. Outtake, yeah.